If you don't master focus, you will lose to a weaker man. Let this truth sink into your bones. If you don't master focus, you will lose, not to a stronger man, not to a smarter man, but to a man with less talent, less intelligence, and less potential, who simply knew how to lock in. That's the world now. Distraction is the new disease, and your ability to focus is your only antidote. You think you're disciplined, but your attention is for sale. Every scroll, every notification, every quick dopamine hit. It's rewiring your brain, chipping away at your depth, stealing your clarity, and most dangerously, training you to be average. Focus used to be natural. Now it's a superpower. And most men are too weak to hold it. They sit down to build, but check their phone 17 times before taking the first step. They say they want success, but can't go 20 minutes without needing to be stimulated. And here's the truth. If you can't sit with silence, if you can't push through boredom, if you can't stay locked on one thing long enough to make it real, you will be defeated. Focus isn't about productivity. It's about purpose. Because where your focus goes, your life follows. If your focus is fractured, so is your power. If your attention is scattered, so is your future. Look around you. There are weaker men, less experienced, less gifted, rising while you're still thinking, planning, researching, waiting for the perfect moment. They've simply learned how to go all in. They don't dabble. They decide. They don't juggle 5 goals. They crush one until it bleeds results. They win because they're present. And most men today are mentally gone. So, don't tell me you're grinding if you're still half in, half out. The man who can focus. The man who can go deep. The man who can delay gratification and do the work in silence. That man? He becomes dangerous. Every time you escape discomfort, you train your brain to run. And if you keep running, you'll never build. You'll just restart. And restart. And restart. Until you're 40 years old with a trail of unfinished dreams, a distracted mind, and a graveyard full of potential you never claimed. Focus demands pain. It demands sacrifice. You'll lose the urge to stay constantly connected. You'll miss out on the noise everyone else is addicted to. But what you gain is domination. Domination over your mind. Domination over your time. Domination over the space between who you are now and who you're supposed to become. Let's talk about the weaker man. He doesn't have your vision. He doesn't have your gifts. He doesn't even have your work ethic. But he's beating you. Because he's not trying to do everything. He's focused on one thing. One craft. One system. One path. He doesn't check his phone every 10 minutes. He doesn't overconsume and underexecute. He's too busy becoming. And while you're distracted chasing 10 things halfway, he's mastering one thing deeply. And getting paid, respected, and remembered for it. Talent is common. Genius is common. What's rare? Focus. Multitasking is the myth of the mediocre. It looks productive. It feels like progress. But it's not. It's the perfect trap. You feel busy, but you're not becoming anything. Every unfinished book. Every halfway project. Every "I'll get back to it later." Those are grave markers for men who never learn how to commit. Do one thing until completion. Even when it's boring. Especially when it's hard. Because the ability to stay locked in, that's what separates men who rise from men who rot. You want to be elite? Master the art of stillness. No noise. No distractions. Just you, the task, and the war inside your own mind. That's where greatness is born. Not in the applause. Not in the rush. But in the still, silent, soul-breaking consistency of doing one thing with full focus until it's done. You'll feel the resistance. That's normal. The weak run from it. But the focused man uses it as fuel. He understands. If he can master his mind, he can master anything. So what's the move? Cut the noise. Get offline. Build a system. Pick your hill, and die on it. Get obsessed with finishing what you start. Protect your focus like it's your blood, because it is. Make your room a war zone for work, not a lounge for laziness. Train your brain to crave depth, not distraction. Because in the end, you don't need more time. You need more clarity. You don't need more goals. You need relentless execution on one. And if you don't learn this now, a weaker man will take everything you dreamed of. Not because he was better, but because he was focused. So choose. Distraction or domination. Noise or results. Comfort or legacy. Because you don't rise by doing more. You rise by doing less. Better, deeper, longer. Master focus. Or stay forgotten. The war is won in the mind.